Hello Cancer, and welcome to today's reading. I hope that all is well. If you're new here, I'm your host LeeApocrypha, and it is a pleasure to meet you. I hope you'll consider joining this whole family and turning on post notifications so you'll be notified every time I post new content. If you're returning, welcome back, soul family. I love you guys. Hugs. So I'm so sorry I didn't get to post last weekend. Yesterday was the last day of my 2 weeks notice for one of my jobs, and the first week of those 2 weeks I already started at where I got rehired, so I was working 3 jobs and I was just so fucking dead by the end of the week. So I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to get back into the rhythm of things as my schedule is changing. Please bear with me. And yeah, so let's see what comes out today. Okay, we have Temperance in reverse. Okay. Temperance in reverse. There's healing that needs to be done. You need to be patient. I know you're probably like, oh, patience. Whether you like it or not, you need patience. Page of Wands. There's something that you may be moving towards, Cancer. It may be a passion project or just something that you want to convey, something that you're passionate about. But I feel like for some of you, you're trying to strategize when is the right time to come forward about this situation or this person or whatever the case is. For others of you, I feel like you have been neglecting your healing, and it is making it more difficult to really move forward with the plans and the beautiful things that you want to build for yourself. I feel like you've been through a lot, Cancer. Let's see. Your last card is the Five of Cups in reverse. And underneath the deck, we have the Lovers. Okay? If you're trying to heal a connection, it's important for you to ask why. Is this someone you really see yourself with for the rest of your life? Is this a connection you really do want, or is it just because you feel lonely and you don't want to be alone? Because that's not a good enough reason. If you want a strong, loving, stable foundation connection with someone, it has to be built on a strong foundation. If you build it on nothing more, or of course this is kind of an exaggeration, but if you build it on, how can I say? If you build it on, I love your energy because you always spend time with me and we're able to cuddle and have sex and whatever the case is, and that's good enough for me. You are, I feel for some of you, you have very low standards for people around you. Some of you. Some of you, this is a call for you to wake up and realize you deserve better and that you should have higher standards for yourself. People, places, things around you, regardless of what it is, there's a lot of aspect here that I feel of you moving towards something that you're passionate about, but you can't see the full picture right now. You're trying not to fall in the pond, so to speak. Like there's this part of you that wants to try something new, but you're maybe afraid to get your feet wet for some reason. Maybe this is within a new connection because you've had failed connections in the past. Okay. With the Five of Cups here, it is in reverse. In this card, we see There are the 3 cups built over, and this person is yelling at this other person. Well, there's 2 cups still there. I feel like you may have had a lot of arguments with someone around you. And one of you, regardless, one of you was maybe even accusing the other, and the other was just ignoring it and thinking like everything was just a fucking joke. You're okay. With the temperance here, I'm getting a new energy of, for some of you, you're done waiting around for someone who's literally ignoring you. Someone who, when you actually have something valid to say and you're expressing yourself, they don't listen, they don't care, and you're done wasting your time and energy on someone who's going to treat your opinion like nothing, like less than dirt. With the Lovers here underneath, and the Hierophant underneath that, there's this sense here of you truly seeking a connection. This could also, for some of you, be this connection within yourself that you're trying to build upon. Be aware of people around you who... Okay. For some of you, there's like this essence here. You're tired of people around you who just want to fuck and that's it. There's this energy that you may have been or feel used. And you are knowing your worth. You're knowing that you deserve better than to be treated like a second option or like nothing more than just a booty call. There is a snake here in the Lover's card as well. What that snake, you know, snakes symbolize healing. But what I'm getting with the snake again is to be careful of people around you. You want to build a strong foundation. You want love. You want commitment. You want marriage, maybe even. But it's very important to not get carried away by the end goal. Like, let's say you do want marriage. Let's say for a few of you, you do want kids. Not all of you do. That's okay. But you're so focused on you wanting the marriage or you wanting kids rather than you being focused on, is this person really, do they really care? If I were to get pregnant because they want to fuck around, like, are they gonna stick around? Because these days, not a lot of people do. Unfortunately, these days, people are less committal, less willing to commit than before. People are more selfish nowadays than they were before. And selfishness is not necessarily a bad thing. We all need to be selfish to some degree, but there's like a threshold. There's a fine line between being selfish, you know, for our own health, to keep ourselves healthy and all of that, versus being selfish just to get whatever we want, to have our agenda fulfilled despite the circumstances or whatever else people around us. Be aware of who you're spending your time and energy with. I feel like you're in a rush. Maybe you're like, not saying that 30 is old, but maybe you're in your 30s and you're like, my clock is ticking, I want to have kids. But it's important for you to focus more so on who you want in your life versus having kids just to have kids. If that's the case, then adopt. Adoption's always an option. There's so many kids out there in the system that have no family. They deserve a chance. I feel like you want love so badly that there's this part of you that you may be in denial about, that you're kind of willing to put up with the worst kind of people just because they say that they love you, just because they buy you something every now and then, just because they say that you know, you're the only one or whatever. But then they don't even pay attention to what you have to say. They don't care about your stories. They don't care about your past, or knowing about it. I feel like that helps us understand a person. So it's like there's a lot here that I feel like you may be limiting yourself towards what is truly meant for you and what could truly bring you a lot of abundance and love, because you're more caught up in finding it just to find it and not be alone, versus finding it because it's right when the time is right. And I know that's something hard to hear. I know some of you were probably like, ugh, here we go, divine timing bullshit. Like, yeah. If you want something to happen faster, the best way to do that is to be in alignment. That's the way that your manifestations will come to you the fastest, when you're working towards what it is that you want to manifest and you're doing your part. You're allowing the freedom, you're allowing the space for spirit to work their part, and that you're not judging yourself or the situations, that you're just seeing them as possibilities or as situations that you shouldn't spend all your time and energy on. I hope I'm making sense. But let's go ahead and move on to the oracle and see what comes up for Cancer today. We have, my home is my castle. And we also have weaving flowers. Okay. My home is my castle. You are home. Home is where you are. Home is what you feel in your heart. What I'm seeing here is for you to understand and acknowledge that you are worthy and that you are stable, or that you need to be more stable in your life. But I'm also seeing for a lot of you that you need to let go of the burdens of what other people think, what society thinks. Fuck society's opinion. Fuck your family's and friends' opinions of you living your life the way that you want to, because that makes you happy. As long as you're not raping and murdering people or hurting animals or anything like that, then you do you. Let go of what weighs you down. And I feel like for a lot of you, a big part of this is societal pressures, gendered expectations. Especially if you are a woman and you want to have kids, but you never really cared to have kids, but you just feel like my clock is ticking, I should have kids. Like, I'm already 30 something, like I need to have kids. You don't need to have kids if you don't want to. Adoption's always an option. It's better for, well, in my opinion, it's better for you to wait and find the right person than to just have a kid just to have a kid. Why not just adopt then? If that's the case, if you don't necessarily love the person that you want to have the kid with or whatever, then what's the point? Then why not adopt? And you don't have to worry about the 9 months of fucking hell. You don't have to worry about, well, either way, whether you adopt or have a kid, there's gonna be, you know, debt. But my point is, you do what feels right for you, and don't give a damn about societal pressures. They don't mean shit. Oh, well, you're a woman and you're meant to have kids and you're already 30 something, you should have a family and you should have a stable career and you should have kids. And fuck that. Just because that's someone else's desire and that's someone else's expectations that they have for themselves doesn't mean that you should allow them to project that onto you. If that's not what you really want for yourself, then why are you stressing out so much about it? I have terrible posture. I feel like a lot of this is for some of you. I feel like this is a little side note, but all your stress and all of your anxiety, all your worries, all the talk in your head that other people have been saying or whatever is weighing you down, and it shows in your posture, it shows in your energy levels, it shows in your facial expressions. You go to work so exhausted and tired and kind of slumped over, and people see, wow, you're going through a lot of shit right now. But it's because you're stressing out over things that you don't need to stress out about. Who cares if you're 35 or however old you are, and you don't have a family, and you're not married, and you don't have a career? As long as you have a job, you're paying your bills, as long as you're happy, as long as you're not a dick to people, then you do you. Who the fuck cares? Alright, Cancer. So let me go ahead and read this card. I just saw 1616. 6 is number of balance and love. 1 is like an amplification. It's also spiritual as well. But 6 and 1 makes 7, which is a spiritual number. You may be wanting to explore your spiritual side, but you may be feeling confined by other people's religious perspectives. Religion and spirituality are two different things. You can be religious and spiritual, but I don't believe that just because you're religious means that you're spiritual. That's my personal belief. I feel like you're trying to see things from a different perspective, and you're trying to expand yourself, expand your mind, expand your horizons. But again, there's a lot of self-limiting beliefs, a lot of beliefs passed down from maybe dogmatic perspectives or religions or other situations. Take it as it resonates. That are just like weighing you down. It's hard to let go of dogma. It really is. It has taken me a long time to let go of religious, dogmatic, confining perspectives that were forced on me, and I've never been happier letting that shit go. I've never felt more me. I've never loved myself more than I do now, allowing myself to explore and delve deeper into myself and my spiritual path, instead of focusing on, well, this person said that I can't do this because it's against the Bible, or just because they're raised to believe that doing that or reading tarot is evil or some bullshit. Like, no, that doesn't mean shit. You're not an evil person just because you're into tarot or a cult or spirituality or a certain religion or whatever the case is. What matters is that you pursue what makes you happy and what means something to you. If that's religion, cool. If that's spirituality, cool. If that's being creative and sharing that, then cool. But don't ever feel like you need somebody in your life just because you feel alone. You need to be able to be there for yourself. And if you're one of those people who can't stand being alone because you can't stand being in your own thoughts, then that's your problem. And that's something that you need to fix and work on, because that's something that is keeping you back, along with, for some of you, dogmatic perspectives may also be holding you back. Societal pressures, gendered expectations, all of that is just bullshit. Period. Alright, so I'm gonna finally read this. This is number 39. Let's see. 39. My home is my castle. Experience of life, growth, knowledge, and age. The woman on this card carries a big castle on her shoulders. The castle is solid. It seems like it is growing each year of her life. Excuse me. The castle stands for the woman's soul. Interesting, because I was thinking in my head after I read Growing Each Year of Her Life that it's about the experiences. All of the experiences that you have create, how can I say? All of your experiences in your life add to who you are. They don't have to control you or confine you unless you allow them to. But each new experience is something that you add on. But are you adding on these heavy ass castles? Are you adding on flowers that weigh less but show this beautiful blooming and growth and expansion? I hope I'm making sense. But let me continue. So, again, it says, the castle stands for the woman's soul. Inside its enduring walls, she keeps all of her memories, thoughts, knowledge, and feelings. In order, the older the woman gets, the more the fortress of life grows. It keeps her company, defends her against pain, and provides the foundation for her true self to continue its journey. All of this, I feel like, are pretty much things that we mentioned here with this card about growth, expansion, not allowing yourself or other people to confine you. Everything that has happened is something that is an experience for you to learn from, but it is up to you to choose to learn from it or to let it weigh you down. But it's important to be mindful of what you choose. Okay, Cancer? So, this is what I have for you today. I hope that the message resonated, brought you hope, clarity, peace, and perspective into your situation. I hope you'll consider joining the Soul family and turning on post notifications so you'll be notified every time I post new content. Please consider liking, sharing, subscribing, all that jazz. And I love you guys. I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.